Welcome to Life Distilled, another episode brought to you by Microshiner. I'm Ryan Hickey, your host. I'm here today with the founder of Microshiner, Kobe Williamson. Welcome, Kobe.
Thanks, Ryan.
And we're here with Blaine Fury of Cocktail Bites. Welcome, Blaine.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're also joined by Mike. He works here at Montgomery, and Ryan at DraftWorks. And we're going to talk about a cocktail that Blaine and these guys came up with. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us. So it was about 2 years ago, Blaine approached us wondering if we could create a beer cocktail with Montgomery Spirits and DraftWorks beers. And over the course of several weeks, the three of us developed a cocktail, which she then, and she'll talk more about this, turned into a cocktail bite for the company that she has then started. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about how the cocktail came about.
So for the cocktail, we opted to use our Scepter IPA from DraftWorks. Scepter is a West Coast IPA, and in it we feature a lot of Northwest style hops that have citrus and tropical fruit sorts of flavors, and we found that those lended well to the cocktail that we later produced with sage lemon. And I'll let Mike talk more about that.
Yeah. So we're starting with White Lady Gin. White Lady Gin is a Plymouth style gin in that it's a wheat-based spirit, which naturally lends to be kind of a slightly sweeter base in general, as opposed to, say, a London Dry style. And this is also a very balanced gin, not overpowering in any one area, but lots of bright juniper and citrus. There's fresh grapefruit and lemon peel in this, plus a lot of warming spice, and then it has quite a few floral components as well. So lended really well to infusing it with hops, which we did here. And we're using two different hops, Cascade and Citra. Citra for that bright those citrus notes, obviously, and then Cascade has a bit more of an earthy, peppery quality to it. So it really lends well to pairing with the botanicals that are already in the gin. And then to that, we decided to create, essentially like a Collins, a fizz, kind of like a shandy-esque cocktail.
Nice.
And, that's where we are.
Cool.
All right.
Well, we're excited to try it, and I think you're going to make up another.
Yes.
I'll let you guys maybe talk about, well, you just kind of covered what's in it. Let's talk to Blaine and hear about Cocktail Bites and the premise. How did you come up with it, Blaine? And tell us about your vision.
Sure, yeah. So I loved contributing to parties. I loved attending gatherings with friends, and I always loved trying to come up with some sort of snack or cocktail or something to bring to the party. And so I started making Jello shots, and those were fun. But then as my friends and I started maturing, tried to mature those with us as well. So I started making classy Jello shots, and then one of the ones I did was you cut an orange in half and you hollow out the fruit of the orange, make your Jello shot, pour it into the orange and let that set, and then you slice it so it's like orange slices.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was so amazing, so elegant and beautiful. Well, when you try to eat it, it just gets like all over your cheeks, so very not elegant in delivery. But then when I moved back to Montana is really when I started finding the craft spirits culture and this commitment to beautiful ingredients, interesting cocktails, things that were just beyond your standard rum and coke or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And thought it would be fun to translate those into an edible format.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so we have an example here today of 3 of your creations.
Yeah. So I have a blackberry Moscow Mule, an Irish coffee, and then our collaborative cocktail, which is the Bitter Grouse.
Which is what we're drinking?
It is what we're drinking here. And I think Mike's going to whip up another cocktail so that he can enjoy one with us.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, thank you.
Please.
So, taking a standard mixing glass, into that, adding 1 ounce of the hop-infused gin. And 1 ounce is plenty, because remember that we're adding IPA to this as well. If you go full ounce and a half in your cocktail. It's going to have a lot of ABV to it. So.
Yeah.
Then to that, we're going to add half ounce of lemon juice. This is fresh squeezed lemon. And this is a sage infused simple syrup. And we're going to go slightly more syrup to lemon. So I'm going to go about 3/4 of an ounce, 2/3 to 3/4.
Okay.
And that's ready to shake. So
Ryan, what was your involvement as far as collaborating with these guys and coming up with the cocktail?
I brew at Draftworks, so I have access to our full array of beer, and that made it fun for us to develop this recipe as we got to go through a few different renditions with different beers, different concepts. So this was the one we ended up with, but that doesn't mean there weren't some other great ones along the way that we got to play with.
Yeah, I
Right.
think we had one that we were exploring with like a, was it the Goes or a Saison?
I think that was our Huckleberry Sour, actually,
It
that we
was the
were
Huckleberry Sour,
we were
right,
playing
yeah.
with, which is one of our seasonals at Draftworks. We try to always keep fun seasonal releases coming out. We generally have 14 beers on tap at the brewery,
Wow.
so there's always a variety. Scepter is one of our staples. It's one that we're canning and distributing. But that said, we have a lot of fun ones that are always new and different. So it creates a lot of variety and opportunity for events and collaborations like this, where it gives us a large playing field.
It's a really cool concept, and I love that we're able to present it here to the audience today.
Yeah, and so I shook those ingredients, the again the hop infused gin, the sage simple syrup, and lemon juice, and then strained it into a glass without ice. To that, I'm going to add several ounces of the IPA, Scepter. And then fill with ice. Straw, and then a piece of sage for garnish. So this is really, when we were deciding on this style of cocktail, we were trying to appeal to the beer drinking spirit of Missoula. And there's a lot of people out there that aren't familiar or comfortable with cocktails, and really, they go to the breweries every day. And we really wanted to create something for to kind of bridge that gap between beer drinkers and cocktail drinkers.
Sure.
And that's really.
Yeah, my dad's a devout IPA drinker. Like that is his go-to. It's kind of the only thing that really interests him. So when I talked to him about this collaboration, he was really excited. And then when he was my primary cocktail bite tester that I was concerned with to make sure that this was up to snuff. And it's by far his favorite cocktail bite.
It's
So-
really, really tasty.
Yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
cheers, guys. It's a
Cheers.
great cocktail.
Thanks for joining us
Nice work there.
so much. It really is. You can taste the hoppiness of the beer, and just really well done. I want to talk about what's in front of us.
Yeah, so I think we should start with trying the Bitter Grouse cocktail bite. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, thank you.
So one of the things I love about cocktail bites is that when you chew it, the flavors come at different times. They get into different parts of your palate. So they, especially when you're drinking a cocktail through a straw, you're sending it kind of right to the back of your mouth. So this chewing it really allows you the opportunity to consider the flavors and enjoy them in a different way. So please help yourself.
Right.
I will gladly. And maybe tell us again.
Now
That's the Blackberry Moscow Mule.
you're starting on the wrong end of the plate.
That's okay, no rules.
There is no wrong end.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,